Okay, so it's 2 o'clock in the morning. It's raining like fucking hell. Already had a giant ass poop. Uh, we've already been out to pee twice, too. And we went out like I don't even know what time it was. Stella keeps waking up. And so then I have to take him out immediately. He's up walking around, I swear to God. And this morning he went in between pees, went into the bathroom and took a big old fucking dump. I know he thinks he's being really kind and considerate going in the bathroom to do it, but it's like, dude, if you can't get on the toilet, you gotta go outside. If you can't get your ass up on the toilet, go outside. And so, anyways, and now I just cleaned that up. I've got to rush out this morning. The girl's in a crisis, and so I got to run to the bus station this morning and pick her up. And so this is giving me a lot of boundaries for me too. Like all the things that, you know, the universe brings to you, because this is a strong thing of mine. And this is something people don't get. People just do not get this. Is if something comes to me that is like a universal lesson. And so you know, like when I really started seeing it, I think it was the thing that draws me back is when my daughter had moved in. And so I had split up. I had gone through my dark night, and she split up, and then she moved into my house. And then she brought her kids and stuff. So they were staying with me, and they were all crammed in this one little room. And because I had one bedroom as my art studio, and one bedroom was my bedroom, and I had a spare room. So I switched my art room into the little room. It was real small. And then I put them, the big giant, it was a big giant, I think it was supposed to be the master bedroom of this house. And I made that into their room. But it was crowded. It had a couple of beds in it and stuff. It was still crowded, so it was uncomfortable. Sure, it was uncomfortable for her, but, you know, that's how I live a life, is sometimes you got to rough it. It's the roughing it that makes the change. So being uncomfortable is what drives you to change something. So being uncomfortable, there's nothing wrong with being uncomfortable. And, but when she was there, and there kept being all these run-ins and stuff, and I was just like, what in the hell is going on? And I would go in my room, because it was my place where I could go be away from everybody, because it was way crowded. You know, went from nobody but my dogs and me to really crowded. And then, so I would go in my bedroom and I would stress out. I would talk to my guides. I would ask, like, what the fuck is going on? And that's where they were showing me about I was getting imbalanced because for your male and female sides, that you are, you have, like, the female side is the nurturer, and then the male side is the protector. And that I was out of balance. I was way too in my feminine side. I didn't know how to protect myself. I didn't know how to do boundaries. I let people walk all over me all the time. And so the universe brings me situations to, like what I was talking about yesterday, these tests and stuff to see how you're doing. And it's not like you get a thing at the start, that they say, okay, do this, this, and this, and this, and you've completed the task, and now you will now have great boundaries. No, that's not how it works. It is a whole fucking thing, because, and the more you talk to them, the more you'll understand, you know, situations that happen, and then go and talk to them, and it's like, you know, I would explain to me about getting the balance, and about setting boundaries, about she was a soul that came into that, my experience at that time, because it was something I needed to start going in that direction. Like, it was all fit together perfectly. And even when you think like, okay, well, I learned this. No, you don't know everything you're trying to learn. Believe me. You know, believe me. And so I was, you know, that was hard, man. It was hard because I had just gone through my dark night, which like was a huge, just because to me it was like so much of letting go. Things were being taken away from me right and left. Friends, relationships, everything was just being pulled from me. My identity, my money, everything was, I was losing everything. And so it was just constant loss, loss, loss. And so you have to pick up yourself every time you lose something, you know. How important was it? You know, what did I really need it? You know, like it's a constant reevaluation when you're in loss. And so I went through all this loss and reevaluation. Then I went through the dark night when I got pushed out of my cycles. That threw me into the dark night. And that is when I had to really see my cycles, when I had to really see, like, oh, this stuff wasn't happening to you. You were playing a part. You were playing a pattern. There was nobody who was abusing you. You were playing out a part. And so there was all of this part of this, like, aha moments, you know, these giant, like, oh, wow. And so a lot of this, you know, that stuff was going on. And then it was the start building myself up. You know, what do you like to do? What are you interested in? That's where I was like, well, what about yoga? What about this? What about that? Well, what about this? You know, I was still struggling because I still had, my health was still attached to Western meds. But, you know, that has been a long one for me, because I was still, because they had given me that, you know, I had conditions. I had migraines, I had scoliosis, I had now a glaucoma, a brain injury and stuff. So, but I pulled free from that when they given me colitis with all their fucking medicine. So then I was so sick. And I didn't even know in there that I had Hep C. But now that I'm hearing all this stuff about Epstein-Barr is like MS. This guy was saying it's like the worst. And they are giving it all to us. Like, I already had it. And the reason I even knew I had it was because I went to the doctor. This was a long fucking time ago. So this is when I was in nursing school. And I went to the doctor, and she was doing all these checks on some physical. What the hell is he doing now? No. Eating my blanket I knitted. Stop it. No. And so Jack, I said no. He's so fucking sneaky, you won't even believe it. As soon as he knows your eyes are not on him, he just goes back and does the same thing. Knock it off. Go on your bed and stay off of there. Knock it off. God. He's so fucking smart, but god damn, he's a brat. I mean, he's sweet as can be, but he is sneaky. Fuck, he's sneaky. And yesterday they started the fence thing. I was out talking to the neighbor to see if she had a crate. She gave me a crate because I have to go to the bus station this morning. So I was like, fuck, I can't leave this little fucker just loose in the house. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then, so we were out there talking, and she was talking about him and stuff, and the dogs all started, her dogs and my dogs started barking, only he got fucking serious about it. He was like trying to put his teeth through. He was like, "Rah." I was like, oh, dude, this is supposed to be fun. The fuck? Oh, he was losing his mind. So, yeah, I gotta get control over that. I had to pick him up and bring him in. And so he's gonna go from being scared of everything to being overly confident, super smart, watching everybody. Like, I'm sure he went in and went to the bathroom by the toilet. He's like, well, this is where you go. That's what she does. It's like, dude, you gotta get up on this fucking thing if that's what you're gonna do. And so, okay, let me think. Okay, so on the boundaries thing. So then I started, you know, they were telling me, you know, I was building myself up, looking into interests and stuff. That's why on mine, I saw, you know, how it was like very long. Like, you don't know. Like, when I got into, at the start of it, I was like into tarot. I was into yoga and into like the past life regression, the QHHTs. I was really into all that kind of stuff. And so then it just keeps, you're just constantly in flow. To me, it's like, it's not like I went against that stuff. There was just more to learn, more to see. And, but it was a lot of, you know, when everything shut down, It was just that really started making me see things differently. And it was like I needed all that had happened up until then to have happened so that it gave me a clearer view of what was going on. Because I was seeing things already. I mean, I was already seeing through so much of the bullshit. And so, yeah, that just made all the change. But I still, like, even when I've been here, I've been in isolation, which is also a really good way to heal because you don't have anybody else's interference. You don't have their opinions. You don't have their energy. It's just you and you figuring your shit out. And, and I keep telling this girl, it's not easy. Like, to face yourself and to heal and stuff isn't easy, but it's worth it. Otherwise, you just live blind or playing patterns and being a victim through your life. If you take a chance to look at yourself and to see your own behaviors, then you can change them. And then you can live a life where you feel a lot more content and secure, and your relationships are better, and you know how to make boundaries with people. Because that was one big thing too that they had shown me, because my daughter would come back into my thing, and as when they were telling me, because I was always confused, like, her and I will argue, and it's just stupid stuff. And but it was so much about boundaries and stuff. So they were showing me, like, she comes in because she's always, ever since she was a kid, she always pushed me. And so she pushes me to, find my boundaries, to figure out, like, hey, you've pushed me too far, because that was always a problem. And that's really common to most people who have been abused in some way, especially sexual abuse. When someone's trying to make sure you don't have boundaries, then you have a time struggling to create boundaries, to figure out, because it's very uncomfortable. You're always worried about other people's feelings. Well, I was. I mean, it's all different for everybody. I was always worried about other people's feelings, and making other people feel bad, because I always feel fine inside. Even when people were pushing on my boundaries and stuff, I feel frustrated, but I was out of balance. And so everything is about pulling us into our balance. And so, and I'm really have noticed, like, I know for sure there's so much about my patience I've been working on, so much about my judgmental. And I think it is just one of the things, like, when you are paying attention and you are seeing things that other people don't see, it does make you feel like you're way smarter. It does make you feel like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? But then to them, they're paying attention to what they're supposed to. I'm over the top. I'm paying way too much attention to way too many things. And that is where I'm always like, this is so strange, that because there's definitely differences in people, and I just saw this woman. Somebody was sharing this lady. I don't know who she is. I don't know if she's a channeler. I don't know anything about her. In the video, seemed kind of grainy. It was even kind of hard to see, which seemed kind of old. But I don't know. It could have just been that they were listening to her out talking somewhere, because they're definitely outside, and she's talking to a group of people. And she's talking about the split. She's talking on a level that, I mean, the Terra and she's talking on a level that's, that I can hear, I can understand what she's saying, but I don't know how to talk like that. Or, that's why I said, like, I can't say somebody else's stuff. So the stuff she was talking about, I don't know, so she was saying, so we're in the split now, like, we can see everything. And she was saying the same things as me, is like about the vibration. And if your vibration can't keep up, people are going to start falling off because it's vibration. And so, but it was always going to happen that way. It's not like, we're all climbing this mountain and people are going to start falling off. No, it was already set. We already know who's going to get to the top of the mountain. We already know, but it doesn't mean that people don't want to climb up, because they're going to learn on every fucking thing. So people are going to, people are working on whatever they're working on. Nobody knows what other people are working on, what keeps eating it away inside their minds. Dude, I am not going to hold you and pet you. Stop it right now. He's bossy too. He's always coming up, shoving his head up on you. He always wants to just get right up on you. And 30 pounds, he's like heavy. So I'm sure it 60 or 70. But see, this is the thing where it's like, if he was really little tiny and stuff, because when I got Stella, like, fuck, I was holding her. And, but I don't know, like for him, it's like, I've got to set this boundary right away. He's already big. He's already, he's going to get way bigger. And he's just so space invader. And look, Dobermans are hyper, man. Super hyper. I cannot believe how he can run, man. Fuck. I swear, he almost could catch a squirrel. I think that he's giving the squirrel a run for their monies. He's crazy at in the leaping and stuff. Like, he's definitely running. But I keep looking up stuff, and now I keep seeing stuff about Dobermans and stuff. I don't remember what I was gonna say, but anyways, they do have some certain personality things, like I've been aware of, that I gotta like watch, to kind of just put him in his place. He does think he's going to be the boss of me or something. Just come and like go in. If he knows I'm going to walk over there and sit down, then he's going to run over there and sit right where I'm going to sit and then just look at me. Like that kind of shit. It's like, dude, don't fuck with me. And so anyways, let me think, because I want to get back to, okay, so this lady, she was saying the same thing as me about it's your vibration. The people are going to start falling off. And that, man, she was saying a bunch of stuff. Something about, like, don't bite my toes. About the indigo kids have to wake up. And it, was it her? I know I'm seeing people share this thing. Oh, no, it was a different woman. Because there's other people saying that all the kids born after 1987 have no karma. Which I don't know, because you're always making karma. Like everything you do, every interaction you have, everything is about this rebalancing. About, I don't know, but some of that stuff is like, well, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, they're born with karma or without karma. I don't fucking know. If there's some sort of a loophole, like the universe is like, we're going to hold back karma so you guys can get through. But she was also referred to it as like a bridge, and that the people who can't keep up, that they're going to go into an artificial, they're all artificial, but she was also talking on that, because she was talking about the stage clearing here. And then we're going to go in 3 days of darkness while they're clearing the stage. She was talking on such a different level. Like, and so she was saying, so the split's going to go. And it's the people who are still vibing high, keeping up with the planet. They're going to keep going. That the other people are going to go to this artificial reality so they can keep playing out their stuff. On this one, there's going to be this 3 days of darkness, and then it's going to come back on. And I don't remember all the stuff she was saying, but she kept saying about like this Terra level and all this kind of stuff. And so, but then like the lights come on, and then we're in the age of Aquarius, I guess, into the new one. Like the old one's all gone, which the old one is gone. Like, no, we still got to go through all the falling apart. But the quantum thing started on the 5th. There's so many people who are not, their bank accounts are jacked. They can't make their house payments. Everybody's like freaking out over this stuff. And then tons of people sharing stuff about Nisargasar. The Ingersoll Lockwood thing continues its story. It's been telling a story the whole time. And now the mouse has on armor. And there's a whole bunch of signs. Like there's just a flood. If you get on to, like, I don't know, Truth Social, Telegram, probably Rumble, Discord and stuff like that, the people who are all under the Patriots. Because back in 2020, when I said there was that whole thing where everybody was live and talking and stuff, then that's when they did the clean sweep. The censorship. I was already being censored on Twitter, so I already knew about censorship. So I would listen to them talking, but these were all people who had accounts and what they were going through. So all these different accounts were all talking about what they were going through, all of this stuff that at the time it was YouTube, this constant taking people's accounts down, all their all their content just was constantly being flagged and shit. It was a constant battle, and I could see that. And then when I very first started, I was very like, oh God, I was so worried about all the different words. So I've always tried to be really pay attention to the words that I use, because that was what would get people. And so that clean sweep and all those people got kicked out of their accounts. And then they all went to other places to start other ones, Rumble, Discord, all that stuff. Tons and tons are over on True Social and stuff. And I don't even know, like, there's probably a lot of people back then who were all into the Patriot movement who have kind of let go of it now and are moved into more of independence or spiritual, because it's all steps. There's these other people who are really stuck. And the one lady who, is constantly putting on the the bold glamour. Everybody's got this fucking bold glamour filter on now, and it looks good. I mean, you look good. And she wears it all the time. It just is like, it's weird. It's like some of these people think this is their face or something now. And how weird to just keep looking at yourself like that and then change your whole persona and then go in the mirror. I go, it just seems so strange. But I mean, there is parts, where she tries to be real calm and talk like, but then other times, she's, got this pretty face on and she's laughing like a crazy witch and spewing hate and stuff. And so many people spew hate, hate, hate. And I think those ones are the ones that are splitting off. I think if you can't, and you just keep going towards division and hate and not ever looking at anything deeper, I see, it feels like they're not keeping up at all. Like, I don't know. Like, is there going to be a big jump all of a sudden? Because to me, she's set herself up for, like, she's got a lot of shit to face just because of stuff she's been out there saying. And so, look, I don't know. We'll see, because the people who have been doing that, and when things switch, even if they're still here, it's a lot. They have a lot of obstacles. Like, nobody, if you've never gone through the dark night of facing yourself, when all the judgment is coming from inside and you can't get away from it, then I don't know. But there's going to be a lot of people who are going to go through it. And just remember, when the judgment is coming from inside, that's what everybody fears, is this judgment. But it's relentless. But you got to remember, it's you. But also, you are more than what you think you are. Like, because to me, even when people tell me like, "Oh, you're so smart" or something like that, and I'm always thinking, well, it's not just me. Like, so, like, it's not just coming from me. It's not like I'm sitting here running the numbers, trying to figure it out. No, I'm just listening. I'm just listening to what they say. I just participate in life in a different way than most people, because, I've just been doing it my whole life. And so, but you sit and you talk to them. Like, you go sit. Like, when my daughter had moved in, I'd go in my room and I would sit on my bed and I would just be like, and I journaled a ton. I journaled a lot. And I would just be like, what is going on with this? I feel like I'm healed. I feel like I feel like it was this giant weight lifted off of me after the dark night. And then all of a sudden it's like, what the fuck? And I know a lot of people have had that, where they feel like, oh, now they're pushing my back. Now they're triggering me. So it's them. I've healed. But no, healing is way more complex than what people think. It's not just like, oh, look at some stuff and then get over it. No, the universe is going to start helping you then to develop. And so there's a whole fucking thing to it. And that's why I say, you got to find what you like, what you're interested in, what you love. That's your journey, is to go towards that. And so it's it's a lot. And so now I have another person coming, and this one, and she's been calling a lot, and she's been in a lot of talking and talking and talking, which, I'll talk to somebody through their stuff, but I also know that you can't just be drugged down by somebody else's problems. Like I've also had this, and you can't fix other people's stuff. Like my daughter would get really mad, like when she was here, and she wanted me to go, let's go do this, let's go do that. It's like, no. And to me, it is just because you're bored. It's like you're trying to get away from something. You're trying to run from something. I don't want to be bored. I want to just sit here and think. And that is what people need to do. You don't need to run around trying to find something to fill your time, make me feel better. Let's do this, let's do that. So I was very much like, no, I don't want to go do that. And she would get really mad at me. She'd get mad at everything I would say because I was pushing on her boundaries and stuff. But, I could see that she just had more healing to do, but it wasn't with me. She's gone off on her journey to interact with other people. But I can just see things that other people can't see. And then they get frustrated because they think, oh, you just think that and stuff. It's like, and if everybody else, oh, fuck, this is just so weird. God, I'm going to be so glad when, fuck. Oh, God, I feel like this balloon is just so stretched out. I am so fucking, it's just exhausting, It's just exhausting, just constantly, just, I don't know. But that's whatever, ego and patience or whatever, you just got to work on whatever comes up. Whatever feelings come up, you just got to go into them and start seeing, like, why do I feel like this? Why do I feel like that? And when it drags on and on and on, I swear to God, it's like a daily fucking reevaluation. Let's talk about it. It's like, come on, can we just fucking get over this fucking goddamn hump? How fucking many things can we talk about with it? So frustrating. Well, now, somebody else coming, and so their boundaries is going to just be things where I'm going to have to, have boundaries and stand up, for, no, I can't just fix that. No, I can't do that. No, I can't do this. No, this is you got to keep real separation in what somebody else is going through, because they'll pull you in. They'll take you down. They'll suck the energy right out of you like a fucking vampire. So you have to, and this is going to be a strong boundary one, man. This is going to be one for sure. And so it's going to for sure have to be like, I can't go on your roller coaster ride with you. You got to go on it. You got to, because the guides, it's not anybody else. It's your guides. And people don't even know that there's anyone in there to guide you. And so it's just crazy, man. People trust everything outside of them. Man, it's just, so, anyways, but I think, when she was calling me and she was talking to me, and I said, I'm honest. I'm not going to fuck around. And you're trying to play a victim to me. I'll, say the truth. Somebody might stomp off and say they're never going to speak to me again. Some people listen and stuff. And so she was listening to the stuff I was saying, but she turned it in on herself. And so, whereas like there's the division between victim and empowerment. And so victim, you have to notice yourself. You have to claim your own bad habits, your own stupid shit you do, your own toxic behaviors, your own doubt, your own insecurities. You got to see your own stuff and realize what you are. It's like, it is like your wound going out in the world and wanting everyone else to put your band-aids on for you. And so it's just a thing, to start recognizing. So then, and then it changes it, like if you're just a victim and you just keep doing stupid shit and people just keep saying, well, it's not your fault, then you're going to keep doing stupid shit. You got to stop it and go like, oh, well, that wouldn't have happened if I wouldn't have done this. Well, that wouldn't have happened if I wouldn't have done this. Well, that wouldn't have happened if I wouldn't have done this. So you start pulling into where it was that you created your problem that you have. Not just the universe. If the universe just brings you something, it's a lesson. It's a It's a temptation. It's a trigger. They're bringing you, it is a video game. They're bringing you things. So and it's how you approach the things that they bring you. And so, you know, getting somebody to understand their empowerment and stuff. But anyways, how she twisted it, she's young, you know, she's young. And she twisted it back on herself. You know, she's the worst. She's so broken. She never, you know, she's just bawling and you don't understand. And she got herself into some sort of fucking drama with some other fucking kids. It's like, Jesus Christ, I was doing that when I was fucking 30. No, it was really my last big drama. No, I think I've probably had lots of dramas. Like, there's dramas you have nonstop. Fuck, I've had dramas with teachers, dramas, like so much fucking dramas. But my big one where I really felt like, God damn, Kelly, was in Hollywood. And I was going out with this, I was a tattoo artist, and I was going out with this rocker dude. And he was back all strung out on the drugs. And I said something about it to another tattoo artist, and said about to another tattoo artist who had got him on the drugs, which was all true. But you're not allowed to say truth. You're not allowed to say what you think. So that was turned into this giant drama, and I was the worst person, and all. It was like, and that's where I was like, I gotta get out of here. This is not my fucking scene. I gotta get the fuck away from this. That's when I moved up to Washington State. But then I got together with my next chapter. And that chapter was long, fucking hard chapter. Can't run away from your shit. You just can't. It just comes in a new fucking form, comes in a new fucking shape. And then a lot of times, you know, you just find out when it comes in, there's more problems. There's more things to deal with. And so, but all the things that you deal with are all things that need to come up, that need to be healed, and you need to grow. But so, anyways, you know, telling her own stuff now, she's turned into, like, she's so fucking broken. She's just crying. So I don't even know what, you know, she's been on the bus all night. I got to be down there this morning and pick her up. And then so probably, I would imagine she'll probably sleep. But, you know, she's got the bad habit of staying up all night. And so I don't even know. It's just like the universe brings you stuff, you know. To me, if something comes like that, like somebody comes into your orbit and they've got issue, and you've got anything you can do to help, and you refuse, you turn the other way, you know, that's your problem. To me, that is like, I'm shunning the universe. I'm telling them, you know, fuck off. I'm not doing that. So that is, you know, but whatever happens, when they're walking me through it, I got to make sure I'm going in and being like, okay, so what's up? What are we doing here now? And so, and they already started telling me some things. So you know, I get what they're saying and stuff, but just no matter what, especially like right now, where things like, where we get this idea of what should happen next, this should be next, should be next, and it doesn't, and something else comes, you gotta just remember, it's, don't get frustrated. The universe has a plan. The universe is doing its thing, and you're participating at whatever level you participate at. And I try and participate, you know, I try and give 100% participation. At the end, we get our participation medal, or what was those things after when we were in grade school, you know, at the end of the year, and they'd have us all go out there and run. Oh yeah, another thing too was, so it's not just the Encyclopedia Britannica. Now someone else who had seen that she has an old book collection. She went and got her old encyclopedia and looked it up. Nope, nothing under that. And I started thinking, you know what's funny is, okay, like I know my introduction was Zanframe for sure. That was the first time I ever heard of it. And of course, they're telling us these stories and we're kids. They're terrorizing us. And, you know, oh my God, which I just can't get Greta and Anna out of my mind. And it's so wild, is because I've even heard a channeler talk to Anne, and what, like, it was just wild. And so it is like, I mean, but it could have been from 1918, don't forget, too, because there was a whole thing in all of the New York Post that was going on about this side of the blues back in 1918. And it almost like the like this one group from somewhere else, uh, I don't know. I just feel like that there's, like I've said, there's groups from different places and stuff. And I feel like that is kind of what they are, but they're kind of aggressive, like takeover kind of people. Like, I don't know, low vibration. And they go good with the Rockefellers and stuff, which I think they're a part of it. So maybe, I don't know, like if we could go back in time and see like when these people showed up, I'm sure that we're going to hear so much more about our history. There's going to be so much more. And I think a lot of the things that people are going through, because people are having crazy synchronicity, all sorts of things where spiritual mystery, the synchronistic side of life is being shown to so many people in all different ways to get people to wake up to the mysticism in life, because that's what's real. And so I think that we're going to hear more about it, but there's definitely something different with all those people. And I'm not, and I don't know the ones who have been here for a really long time that are completely cut off from that side themselves. They're just, like us. They're just trying to make it, and they've got a label attached to them, but they aren't, not everybody, everything's different levels. And so anyways, okay, so when the universe brings you something, that is like your moral, it's your moral phone call to the universe. Yeah, okay, I'll do it. Or no, I'm not doing that. And then there's a whole new lessons that you can learn. But so to me, when somebody's coming to your doorstep, when something's coming to you, just like when Jack came, he just shows up here through the neighbor. And so then, but I'd already put out the feelers. I'd already put the thing out. I knew something would come to me. And so that is how the universe works. They bring it to you. It's like this house was brought to me. Everything, my suit, everything, they bring it to you. But you have to go out and around, and be like what you love. And you also have to be one of their soldiers, one of their workers, somebody who's there for them. So when they do bring somebody, that you're like there for them. And so, because it really reminds me of this guy, and this was a TikTok story, and he was asking other people what he should do. So he's asking other people what he should do. He should be asking himself, and he should be asking his guides. But so he's asking people on TikTok because he's engaged to this girl, and they're going to be getting married. And then his parents died, and he has a 6-year-old sister. So he was going to have to take this 6-year-old sister and raise her. But his new wife didn't want anything to do with it. She didn't want kids, and she didn't want that. So he was having to decide if he was going to marry this girl that he loved, or if he was going to take care of his sister. And I said, take care of your sister. Like, that is that's your test, dude. That's your test. And when you don't do it, uh, I don't know how to explain to you what happens when you don't do it. You just have to do it and see. To me, it's like, look, everything will just start going wrong. It'll just, yeah, I always do. I go with what they bring me. So if somebody shows up, knocking at my door and saying, hey, I need help, then I open the door and say, come on in. Let me see what I can do for you. And, you know, then I talk to the universe. What is it you want me to do? What am I supposed to be doing? What am I supposed to be learning? Especially when it's something, like I said, when you think like, oh, the next thing that's going to happen is this. And then it's like, what? What's this now? And, and then even trying to, like maneuver through it. Well, no, I got, this is going to be going on. I've got to do this. And it's like, no, you got to focus on this. And so it's like, okay, I'm going to, even if you don't understand why or what or something, you are a cog in the wheel. You have an important role, but so many people don't want to play the role. So So anyways, she'll be here in a while, and then that will, it always disrupts. It's funny too because she wants to hear what I have to say. Like, when she's having problems, she's calling me. She wants to hear what I have to say, which gives me the whole thing of like, I know she's a very deep soul. I think that is one of the reasons why she's so wounded, is because so many people, when your soul's right, or just right out there, it's real easy to hurt. And then people start putting all this stuff on to protect and become manipulative and all sorts of things to protect themselves. And, people become angry and bitter. And so, I don't know. You gotta acknowledge your soul and its pain and stuff, and see what's going on. But anyway, so the let me see, because it seems like there was something else I was about to say with that, but I keep on being pulled over to the map thing. So the doomsday map, and I don't know, because there's so many people now talking about this stuff. Like, there's so many, like, there's definitely, it's so funny because it's almost like on some of the people, it's like, for me, 2016, for some of the people, it's like 2020. It's like all these people are back in this time that I already went through. So I swear to God, I'm just like, I was just going through this stuff, which to me is total confirmation that, I know I'm right about this stuff. And so anyways, the doomsday map. So from what this was saying, that Edgar Casey made that map. He's the one who made that map. It said it was the future map. So I don't know. I kept thinking it was Looking Glass, but Edgar Casey is like right on about all this stuff all the time. And now, David Wilcock tries to claim he's Edgar Casey. And that's why I started trying to be like, David keeps trying to make himself relevant. Dude, just be David Wilcock. Like, this is why as a channeler, this is what I always get, is like, why do people keep trying to validate themselves and say, like, I'm channeling Michael, I'm channeling Archangel Michael, so you really need to listen. I'm channeling Dark Turian, I'm channeling Saint Germain. Like, all these people are constantly trying to name drop, like it gives their stuff more relevance. It's like, I don't know. Like, David stuff is just as relevant. Why would you need to associate any other name? And I know he's written lots of books, and I know he's done lots of predictions and lots of stuff coming. I'm like, he's been able to see stuff since he was in fucking school, in college, when he all of a sudden started realizing that the aliens were real. So he is, he's relevant, but he doesn't see his own relevance. You know, he's like doubts himself. That's the insecurity. That's the part, and which makes total sense. Because anybody who is in the public light, then you what, like, there's a reason for it. There's a reason to the lessons. This one too. So this, because I keep seeing this girl. She was off The Orange Is the New Black, and she was just in that movie. I watched the OJ movie. She was in it. And so she just, it pops up. I swear to God, I see something with this girl. I think every day for a while. And what is her name? It's kind of an unusual name. She was just on Whitney's podcast. So Whitney, I guess, I've seen Whitney live, but I don't know if she tours anymore, but she does a podcast. And I'm not really sure what her thing is. On the part that I saw, it was like, okay, Whitney, do you not know anything about conspiracy theorists? Like, what do you talk about like on your thing? Like, listen to me. If you're not talking about conspiracies, like, what the fuck are you talking about? It has no purpose. There's no reason to talk about anything unless it's a conspiracy. That's me. So, but I don't know what her thing is, because the stuff the other girl was saying, I keep wanting to see her name was like Cameron, Kenyon. I don't know. It's like two names, and I keep getting this other girl who has a similar name mixed up. She was like, it was very completely different person. But the one who was on Whitney, she was the off Orange Is the New Black. She was a little sketchy meth head, one of those girls. And she always kind of plays out a part, a sketch kind of druggy kind of girl. In the OJ, in the Nicole Brown murder movie, she played Faye, one of the girls that Nicole Brown was supposedly having an affair with. And I'm pretty sure her name was Faye. And so anyways, she was on Whitney, and everybody keeps sharing this clip. Is so she was saying that she was offered the gold juice 3 times. And so Whitney is like, oh, what's that? Is that pee? Do you get peed on? This was very, I swear, it's like, Whitney, are you performing? Are you trying to pretend like you're stupid? Like, I mean, did you already take the gold juice? Like, she said no, she's never taken. She's like, I'm a comedian. I don't know anything about this gold juice thing. They don't offer it to me. And so, and she did have a show for a while. Like, she has been out there. Like, she's all over the place. So I don't know, but like, I don't think everybody, I don't know how it goes. I don't know, you know. I mean, this girl was talking, one of the times I saw her talking, she was saying about, you know, RAPE on the show. And all this stuff that they talk about on the show, like it seems she's aware that she is leaning people of how to think. I mean, a lot of people have caught on to that. A lot of actors have caught on to that. Like, we are making people think a certain way. We're not just entertaining them. They are being formatted by our entertainment. So and she seemed to not say that, but have awareness of it. A lot of her videos, she seems like she's on drugs or something. Like, this girl is whacked out. She'll dance around. She won't have very much clothes on. She'll say weird stuff. She'll sing songs by the wrong words, and she'll stop and go, I just like to sing whatever words I want to say. Like, she's always seeming like super drugged out and stuff. Like how Britney keeps being like whacked. And I don't know if it's part of the show to try and, you know, get us to pay attention, because they've got to get everybody to pay attention in all different ways. And so she says that a bunch of the girls on the Orange is the New Black did take it. And she said, and they change. And she said she was offered it in her 20s or 30s and her 40s. And she's refused it every time. But when they give it to you, they always make a bunch of big promises. You're going to have everything you ever wanted. You're going to have all the fame, all the money that you ever wanted. But she always thought there's some kind of payoff. She didn't want it. She didn't want to do it because she thought there's something that you're going to have to do for all this stuff besides just drink this. Drinking that could be some kind of mind control stuff. I don't know. And maybe it's all different on all the different things. Maybe on that set it was to try and get girls to do things. I have no idea. Like, all this stuff is so weird. It was weird how Whitney kept acting like, you know, she had no idea what's going on in Hollywood. It's like, I don't know what your podcast is about. Real innovative stuff. So I don't know. What was it? Because I think the last time I saw Whitney, anyways, it was in Spokane. And I was just like, I don't know if it was like the things that she was saying or something. There's a lot of people, and they say stuff, and it's just like, no. And it's different than what other people would think. It is just, I don't know. It's where I just can see no consciousness, no caring, no soul, is like make fun of people or something. I don't know what it was, but I know I had a change of heart. I just feel certain. But also, you know, she's really was friends with, what's his name, which is another thing. So you're acting like you don't know what's going on, but you're best friends. He was in your show with that one guy who's got issues. So I can't remember that guy's name. I think he was a comedian too. And it was like fucking, what's the one? He just married his fucking, she's from high school. His high school sweetheart at 50 years old. I can't remember. It makes it sound like he's marrying his high school sweetheart, that it was his high school. No, he's just going down to the high school and grabbing sweethearts. I'm like, and then marrying them. I'm like, that guy, I don't know what is. There's another one too. What was this guy? Some fucking picture, some old fucking actor. Oh no, I think he's 80 with his new wife or girlfriend. No, it was Al Pacino. Al Pacino got some girl pregnant. He's 88 and she's 26 or something. I don't know. It could be his new wife or something. It's just like, it's so absurd. And what in the fucking hell? Like, dude, are you serious? Do you really think that you're plow toweling her like a 20-year-old? Like, like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he just pops a couple of Viagra and he's all up on there and he's doing his thing. I don't know. It just is weird. It's like, it's so weird. Like, I mean, what else is the purpose? It's not for deep conversation. It's not for, like, I don't know. So I look at it as embarrassing. I feel embarrassed for him. Like, oh my God, dude, it's pathetic. It's pathetic to see somebody be that desperate. And especially as somebody who's supposed to be so successful and you're so desperate that you're going to go take some young girl and then even get her pregnant. So yay for this poor kid. Yeah, daddy used to be a famous actor, and then he died because he was old, and we've got now, all these years ahead of us. But I guess, then she gets the money because, I don't know. I just think there's a lot of shady shit, and that's the kind of energy that won't go forward, you know. That kind of stuff won't go forward. It's the movement forward is like moral compass, high priorities, good standards, loving disposition, caring about other people, kindness, loving, caring, and then that includes having good boundaries, because you can't make, because you don't have good boundaries, that everybody else is hurting you. Like this one I saw yesterday, and this person, I was saying something about gender, and being misgendered. And you know what I think it was? This same person was doing the crotch shot, putting on her boobs as she walked out of the room. It seemed like it was that same person, but I don't know, because this one was way up closer. And as she was saying something about talking about misgendering. I didn't watch it. I just went off, but I was like, this is mental, because people want, it is like the people who have decided to change their gender and make it everybody else's problem, whose feelings are raw, who everybody, anybody can hurt their feelings if you misgender them. They put all their feelings out there. They give everybody their feelings. And then they tell everybody, don't trust your eyes. Don't trust what your senses. Whatever you think I am, I'm probably not. So don't trust yourself. And if you say the wrong thing, you're going to hurt my feelings, because then I'm going to fall apart. I'm going to cry. And it's like these people don't even see, like, they set themselves up to be victim. And then to want people to go against their own senses. Don't go with your senses. Go against your own being to accommodate my feelings, because I'm so fragile. And if you say the wrong thing, I'm going to fall apart. And so we've got, our society, it needs this big old kick in the fucking boot. Man, we got to get this shit going in a different direction. But, that lady was saying it's just going to split apart. All these people are going to leave, who are the low vibration, who can't keep up with the game, just like what I was saying. And I think that's going to throw some people. I was even thinking, though, like, maybe my mom is going to rapture. Maybe that is. Maybe that is going to be a lot of those people, because they are the ones who don't want to I don't know, they want a savior. They want someone to save them. They want to be judgmental. They want to be hateful. Like, the amount of people now talking about religion and calling it out, of like, how in the world could you guys not realize who you're worshiping when it's this fucking much hate and evilness and division in the book that you worship, and to not be able to recognize that your own fear of going to hell is your drive and motivation to worship this person. It is so, I mean, it makes sense to me for that to be the low vibration people, the ones waiting for some savior, not doing their work. It'll make a difference, because anybody who's doing their work, like, I don't know. I know, like, my mom has had problems with people pushing on her boundaries, and I would constantly tell her, you got work on that. And I don't know what she's been working on, so I don't know. Maybe she's been working on herself a lot and she's been raising her vibration. I don't know, but it would make sense for a huge amount of the people to be these people who would leave and for them to go work out, get over this Jesus thing or something. Like, I don't know, because they're going to go into some other kind of reality to work out their shit. And maybe it is, and it seems like everything just keeps pushing you to save yourself. So if these people think they're being raptured out to go to the heavens, is like they would be raptured out to go through more hell. And it's going to be very different. So that would be a very big, shock factor to the soul to wake them up. As I don't know. There's just such a dependency in not even question yourself. To just, there's so much hate and division in that whole fucking all about religion. And so it's very strange. But anyways, okay, let me think. Okay, so the money thing is already gone. Okay, so oh yeah, and the Trump, that's already going too. Oh, and he keeps saying stuff and saying stuff. But I saw another thing that said that the justices have all been put in a safe place and that they're going to reveal who is really in charge. And so, and it's already come out. Like they've already said, but, the news is not going to go and tell. So there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be really shocking all of a sudden where people, and so it's something I think with the military thing right now, where they said, Trump has diffused some situation. He's stepped in now as the commander in chief. So that will be a part of it. Like, we'll see. We'll see what today brings. Because they also said that the bank thing is going to be just one going down after. It's just going to be this constant, everything falling apart. So, but that they are already starting the reevaluation. The reevaluation was supposedly already done on the 5th. So all of the money has been separated. And I would think probably they'll have a big show about signing us onto the peace treaty. Because most people don't know that the BRICS nation and the gold standard and stuff all has a peace treaty. You have to be a part of peace in order to participate in it. And so it's, and then it's all the gold and everybody gets all this stuff and it's going into abundance. So everybody's going to be doing it, but they've got to fight the people who have got a hold over so many people. And so that's who they're fighting. They're not fighting us. So they're fighting the bankers, the corporation, the scientists. That's who they're fighting. And so anyways, so the reevaluation thing is already gone, but we have to go through all this stuff, like mortgage thing, like all these crises. And that is like, if you're awake, then you should be able to just sit back and be like, okay, we're gonna go through this. So we gotta let them all go through that. So they all wake up to that, and just you gotta just kind of sit back and wait. And then and they all go through all these emotional and falling apart and screaming and yelling and crying and all that stuff. So you just gotta sit back and just, this is what's gotta happen. We've all gotta go through this part. And then whatever is gonna happen, how they're gonna do it. That one guy was saying they're gonna, I've just kept hearing that they're gonna like call us in for our appointment and then they'll go over our money. That's when I'm gonna ask about the med. Like when I go in for my reevaluation and they go over my account with me, I'm gonna take all my silver, and then because I will keep it at some kind of safe or something at the bank, whatever facilities that they give us. I don't know how it's all going to be. But then, and I think I can even have it just put right into an account. So it would be there, but it would be in my account. I don't know, because it's solid. So like if you went in and you took it out, I guess removed it from your account, but you get a solid piece of silver. You wouldn't get a note, like a dollar note. Is but they're freedom notes. Yeah, I guess they are going to use freedom notes, like, so you aren't carrying around just pieces of silver. I don't know. I don't know how it's all going to be done. A lot of it is going to be a lot of online stuff. And a lot of people are going to go to bartering and trading and other ways. People are already developing those. There's a website even that has started that anything you don't want, you go and you go on there and you put it on there. And then anything you want, you go on and look. It's like a big giant trading thing, so everybody can get what they want when somebody's done using it, doesn't need it, and we all just start sharing shit, just start passing it around and sharing shit. So we stop buying all their bullshit. So people are trying, like I said, people are going to come up with all sorts of innovative, creative things to make changes. And all these things are going to happen naturally. The universe is going to be triggering them to remember what they're here for, what they're, what they're here to do. And so there's going to be a lot of different things. So it's not going to be the same as just like paying money. And and I don't even know, maybe gasoline's even going to be free. Like, I don't know. Like, resources are going to be free. Like I said, we'll see. But we may not even be on gas for very long because we're going to go to free energy. And I've seen where all these electric cars are just lined up in California. So many people jumped on that trend, and there's not enough places to dock them, and it takes so long. You can pull up to a gas station, get gas, and go. They have to sit there at these docking stations for hours. And then this guy was showing the line waiting. So they had to wait for all these people, then wait for all those people. So he said people won't even be out of here till 3 in the morning, just the line that's sitting there. It's like, what? And see how they just take over your time? They try and get you to do something that's good for the planet, good for people, but it just is this consumption of your time and energy all the time. That's all they're after, is to take your time and your energy and then convince you to not trust your senses, do what they say. So the reevaluations, and when they call you into the redemption centers to go over your, I don't know, go over your account, your birth certificate, your problems. Like, I would imagine when I go in, they would have all my court cases and stuff. They would know, my house was taken, the brain injury, the courts went against me, the hospital went against me. Like, all that stuff should all be in my data. And so there should be, I think that the cases, like even court cases that went against you and malpractice and stuff, I think they're going to go the other way because the court system was so illegal. And so I think that there's going to be stuff like that, but we'll see. I'll see when I go in. And then I'm definitely going to find out about how to start setting up my appointment for the med bed. That's been my two big things this whole time, is like, get out of the fucking debt so I don't have to worry about any of their shit anymore, and they get into the med beds so I can get my health back and get this fucking plastic out of my body. So so the money thing is all in going. It's already in movement. And that's what they're, and I also heard again that they've just said they're outmanned, they're outpowered, that all they have left are these sleeper cells and stuff and these plans, but they keep being, what is that, disarmed or something. Something keeps happening to disarm them. And so then there was another huge theft of a huge other thing of all these explosives and stuff, and 2 guys, and we got them on camera and all this stuff. This keeps being nonstop. Oh, we just happened to leave this truck out here. We just happen to have all these explosives. We just happen to have all the. It's like, okay, yeah, we're stupid. And and Joe, he just says, I think it's so funny how he just comes out all the time like, yeah, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna spend $100 trillion billion. I've got 100 billion trillion. I'm gonna spend 600 trillion, like these outrageous numbers. Like, he's just like a kid. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and everything. He doesn't even know his own past. He's always like, just says whatever. Yeah, I was raised in a black church. Yeah, I was raised in Iran. Yeah, I was raised like this dude. He's just such a, but that is a part of the like politicians, they just say what you want to hear. And so everything is like this, on steroids with all of the things, the politicians, it used to be polished. Now you see the other side of it. It's like obnoxious. It's disgusting. And it's egregious. So he's, he's sitting there saying all these whacked out stuff with the money. And I know people are getting really pissed. And so I was just like, boy, that's got to really make y'all mad if you keep paying your taxes and stuff and how he's spending it. Because the people do get mad. And then plus you put that out there and manipulate the people. So then they're like, you're not paying? What do you mean you're not paying? And what do you mean you're not paying your taxes? Stop paying your shit. Stop supporting these people. Like, stop paying your house payment. Stop paying your bills. Stop giving your money to gangsters who are trying to destroy your life. That's my theory. And so, it's been a game. The house thing was a big game. Is when I very first stopped paying it, I really thought this was going to be over sooner. But Trump did come out and say, I know it's been long, I know it's been hard, but we just had to have the people see. You can't tell people, they have to see. And that is, the big thing that's going on is so people can see the corruption, so they can see. And the people, when you hear them talking, is like, yeah, they really don't see. Like, they really think this is all really happening, and they're all so mad. And it's just like, but that is going to be the thing when the lights turn on and they're like, you mean this stuff was going on? I just now caught on to this? Like, here I am having a fit and we're all just sitting back like, oh, I'm glad you finally noticed. Like, come on. But, so anyways, you got all these people out there having a fit about the taxes and what he's doing with them and how corrupt. And I mean, they're on every little thing. Oh, did you guys know this? Oh, did you guys know that? It's like, oh my God, did you know you're tightly wound up in this shit? And you need to be letting go of it because it's holding you back. Your vibration is being held back. But those are the things like where you can see the soul, their attitude, the soul has things to work on. The soul, and so it is going in its own direction towards its own lessons. And so, if somebody really feels that much hate and that much division and stuff, they got shit to work out. And so, I don't know. But I feel like it's really close, whatever's going to go down. Like, there's people who keep getting the craziest stuff up in the sky. And now they've definitely come out with this two sun thing. And how long have I been saying about the artificial sun? And how many times was I harassed and laughed at and made fun of because of saying that? And then there we have it. Yes, they have more than one sun. They have more than one moon. They're, the whole thing is fuckery. The whole fucking thing is just a Truman show. And who even knows? Like, I have no idea. It's all just trickery. It's all fucking just bullshit. And to me, it's just like, I see people go in and they gotta get to the bottom of this, get to the bottom of that. And to me, I'm just like, I don't have the energy. I don't give a fuck. It's just fuckery. It's all fuckery. I don't need to know for sure which side Jennifer Aniston's on. I'm pretty, I mean, she's out there talking about pizza all the motherfucking time. And there was one, too, and Adam Sandler, too. Now it's just like, dude. And he was a comedian, but fuck, he sure likes pizza. And, but Jennifer, one of the ones, because, she's standing there and Adam Sandler and they're being interviewed and he says something. And he says something about pizza and the look on her face, I don't know. She's got something to hide. And in her family, they were already involved in Hollywood. I think her dad and her mom were in soap operas or something. So totally been social climbers willing to sell out their kid. Who knows? Like, it's all different storylines. But, I mean, her name is coming up a lot lately. And I think she was marketed as America's sweetheart. And I think she's just one of those handler people who is, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe she's a double agent and she's going to come out and be, really cool. But she sure has played a wicked part through this. Telling people, you better go do these. Or, I mean, just very, yeah. I think we'll see. We'll see. I did see something on Matt Damon where I was like, well, maybe he's not as evil as I thought. Maybe he just really, but then they also tell these people, like, you're under contract. You have to do this. You have to say that. And there's a whole weird thing. Like, I never even knew who Doja Cat was. I would hear it all the time. Doja Cat, Doja Cat, Doja Cat. And it's like, who the fuck is Doja Cat? And, so we kept hearing about Doja Cat. And and then she's sold out. Now she's a devil and all this stuff. There's a whole new Doja Cat thing now. And all the things I hear about her, seems like, and I'm just guessing, like, it seems like she was real pretty and some musician, and but not, I don't know if she was wholesome, but she definitely had like a, a regular looking pretty look, long like curly hair, pretty face and stuff. And then she turned into like she shaved her head, and I don't know, some of the pictures and stuff, she was like, looks like a devil or something. Like, I got, and her music changed. She has a song I like that it's always being played. Um, I said what I said. I can't think of the whole thing, but I like that song. And so I was like, oh, so Doja Cat's a musician, and it's a girl, and she was one way, and then she got discovered, and then she turned. So she sold out, and so all of her fans are, I don't know, there's just a lot of talk, like a lot of talk on Doja Cat. But the weird thing that just happened is, so I don't know, I think she has like 26 million followers or something. It's a huge, huge amount. And tons of videos on her TikTok. And then it cleared out all her videos, which, you know what blows my mind? Because even when Chrissy Teigen was doing that, when people caught on to her funk and started paying attention to the shit she was saying on Twitter and being like, oh, god damn, you fucking perv. And she went in and started removing fucking videos. And to me, it's like, do they have like a faster way? Like, it's so fucking tedious. Like, to go and take off, they must just hire somebody, go in and delete all my videos. They're not going to do it. Some of these people, I probably, they have someone else clean their house, but they'll go in someone else's house and judge them. It's like, they judge people for things they don't do for themselves. But I don't know. I'm just guessing. But anyway, so all her videos went off except for one, and she had made this video in September. And the only video that was left, which I think it's a picture, but it might be just a still, but it has a song. But it's just her on the Friends. You know how Friends would start, the show would start, and they would all be out there, and they'd sit on that couch out in front of a building. And so it's her sitting on the couch in front of the building. So that has got people just whacked, man. They're like, oh my God, they did a ritual. Like, she let Matt be killed for her fame and all this stuff. Like, I don't know. I kind of feel like Matt's not dead. I feel like that was kind of a show. There's a lot of weird stuff. Like, Trump has even done some Batman stuff. There's a lot of weird shit. So I kind of feel like it's, because I still think Anne Heche, I think she's alive. There's a lot of people, I think that there's some people who they're trying to pretend to are dying, but it's to kind of throw off the other people. And so it's the takedown of the other people. So there's a lot of stuff that's confusing and doesn't seem real. So I think that, and then there's all this about idol worship that has to come up. It's 26 million people, and then I just can't even tell you how much I hear about her, how many people talk about her all the time. And then, so the only video, so it was definitely to make a thing. And to me, I was like, okay, so maybe Doja Cat is really maybe she's being used to try and get their attention so that they get to leaning in this, like, idea of how Hollywood works. But she's also going to be somebody who is showing stuff like Matt and Ann and stuff. Like, I don't know. It definitely, it just brings up questions to me, more questions and more questions. So many people, they go into straight ass, like, it's definitely this, it's definitely a ritual, this definitely happened. If you don't think so, then you're a stupid ass. It's like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's so complex. It's so convoluted. There's so much going on. I just know it's all going on to pull people to wake up, to pay attention, to question things. Like, there's got to be, like, all these people questioning Doja Cat and why is she doing that? That's good. They need to be questioning and trying to figure out stuff. Like, that's an important part of waking up. And so that's why I think all this weird shit keeps going down, is to just to promote people to question things, question reality and stuff. So, okay, let me think. So we have all this stuff going on, which this week it should be, see, today's Tuesday. So there should be more stuff about the money. And tomorrow my daughter's check goes in. So I said, well, let me know if your direct deposit goes in. Mine goes in Thursday, and I'll let you know if mine goes in. But if it doesn't go in and I can't go get stuff, this is something that's been going over my mind, So I want to share this because I'm sure it happens with other people too, is, like, especially for me, like, all throughout this whole thing, run and go get all my stuff and then sit down and prepare for if this is the weekend where everything goes crazy. Fuck, I've been doing that for goddamn 2 years, it seems like now. So, fuck. But, now it is, so, let me think. Let me think for a second, because I was about to say something. Doja Cat. Let me think. So, what was I about to say? And I do not want to have anything to do with the holidays, I'm telling you. It just blows my mind how many people are just still so into the holidays. We just finished Halloween and Thanksgiving, and I even see people who, go and market themselves as super spiritual, and then they're like, it's my birthday. That's what I was saying. Like, I'll hear somebody and they'll be saying something. It's all good. And then they'll turn, and it's just like this girl, and it's so crazy too, because I just yesterday I was thinking, oh, maybe she's one who's really is keeping up on this stuff. And she really is healing, because she'll say some stuff that I think is, oh, that's really good, that's really smart. So apparently now she had said something about she needs someone to help her because she's stuck at this place, and she lives in this apartment. She's got to go down this hall to leave, and her neighbor is a drunk, aggressive guy, and she can't handle it. This isn't right, blah, 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 blah. And so she's asking for people to help her, and which is so crazy, because a long time ago, when I very first started interacting with her, 'cause she's in Oregon, and she was having something, and I said, well, I've got a room here, you can come here. And so I offered her, but so, she's been going through, I don't know, maybe she just, I don't know. But so now she's asking for help again. And so, and I didn't listen to the video because I don't like to listen to people keep asking for help. And so, but then she did a bunch of videos to the comments that she got on the comments on the video that she had done. So then I started seeing she was popping up constantly to respond to these comments. And she was getting really mad. And one comment was about the energy. You're bringing this energy to you. You got to work through your shit so you don't keep bringing it to you. Trying to explain that to her on that level. That pissed her off. And then there was somebody else who must have said something about, that you're going to keep having these people around you till you heal. And that pissed her off. And so she was so mad, and she's like trying to tell them, this isn't somebody I'm in a relationship with. This isn't somebody I brought into my thing. This is, like, she just doesn't get it. As I was saying, like, I'll hear people talking and I'll think like, oh, good. But then they'll start saying something else, and it's just like they're just still lost, so lost. Because, yeah, dude, you have that person there to help you work through something. So then once you work through it, then you don't have that come anymore. The lesson's gone. So and then when another one comes, like this one comes, it'll be a different boundaries. It'll be different things that I need to work on, which I'll see when they get here. I mean, maybe it's irritation. Maybe it's just setting more boundaries. I have a plan to go out there and do that little building and get it so she has her own little place out there. And I told my daughter, which my daughter's in California right now. She flew. This is so fucking intense, dude. Man, this is so intense. Like, because that's one thing, too, is that all these people are saying, stay off the airplanes, stay off the airplanes. And not only that, is with this, there's a reason why they sound so loud. And there's a reason why in the movies they keep showing them all falling from the skies and shit when this pole shift happens. And then somebody else was talking about all the stars had went off, and now the stars are back on, but the stars are all going to start falling from the skies. And so if that has to do with this comet and stuff, if that has to do with all these people having these dreams, well, all of a sudden all this stuff is falling in the sky, and all the people think it's stars, but it's really energy. It's really different beings and stuff. So I don't know, because everybody is so scared of all the different beings and like they're devils. They're devils. They're going to fall out of the sky and they're going to get us. It's like, God, so you can see why some of these people got to go to a place to keep learning. They're just not able to keep up. And even people who are keep going and stuff, like, it's a lot. It's a lot. And there's not a lot of people like me explaining to people how you need to heal, what you need to focus on, what this is all happening for. And so, I don't know. I mean, I'm really excited when I see so many more people finding my account, because that's the whole point of helping people see, so people get out of this panic and they start using their time wisely, especially if they want to stay in this living situation, in this game. But that one lady was saying, in that will be these 3 days of darkness when this splitting happens, and it's like the lights will go out here, and we'll have these 3 days of surrender, and then we will be in this new setting. Like, things will look different. So, I'm sure that's out of Alice Coe things too. Like, that is where you start hearing things to cross over. That's where I always give it a little bit more weight. Like, okay, and especially if it's stuff that gives me confirmation of things that I'm hearing in my own head, and then I hear someone else say them. That always gives me more confirmation. That's why it's really important for you to get your voices in your head under control and manage them and start participating, so that you do get those opportunities. Like, oh, okay, well, that's what they told me in my head, so that's yeah, I'm going with that. But you gotta, because there's a lot of people following those voices in their head and don't realize that they're just following tricksters, dark energy. They're not following their guidance. But the guides will let your tricksters trick you, because it's part of your learning. It's part of you. You gotta figure out who you're listening to. This is micro, macro. That's why this is all happening. Who are you listening to? Are you doing what somebody says, or are you doing how you feel on the inside? That's why it's super important for you to get in touch with yourself on the inside, to understand yourself, to build yourself, to work on yourself. And then as the people come into your life, to see that they're coming in for you. She's not coming here so I can fix her. Like, hopefully she's going to learn more from me. I know that she has been, because of the stuff she has said. So I know that I've been helping her. But when somebody comes into your thing, it's not like I got to get out of my head that I'm coming to help her. As a matter of fact, I got to put a boundary up to that. It's not my responsibility. It's not what my desire or anything. I fully believe people have to help themselves. That is the hero's journey. That is the journey to discover what a hero you are. You have to save yourself. And so I'm not going to step in and save somebody else. And then plus, that just is, it's not fair to them. It's like you flatten them out. You give them more to not believe in themselves. And everybody needs this chance to believe in themselves. And so, but it is my opportunity for me to see, like, what things I need to work on, and I'm sure it'll be stuff with irritation and stuff. Just having, Jackson is a lot more energy, and he's his own energy. He's hyper, and then there's going to be another energy coming in. So it's going to feel intense. It's going to feel like I'm being, my energy is being interfered with. So to keep myself in my own truth and my own energetic capsule, to stay true to me through, which I think, I mean, we'll see what the test is. It's like a day-to-day thing. You just participate in a different way. But there was things, you know, when my daughter was here, I would definitely see, like, I could stay completely, feel perfectly fine, be perfectly fine. And then she would come out and she would just get so mad at every fucking thing I would do or say. God damn, there was nothing I could do that was right. And then she would lecture me that I was the one with the problem. It was like, it was so overwhelming. So like, no, like that wouldn't happen again. Like, so, you know, my boundaries would be much stronger on that. And so, I don't know. We'll see how it goes and see what I'm supposed to work on and work on it. And then, you know, she likes to come out and listen when I'm talking. Like she would, I don't know, because I've been doing it so early now. I was doing it before. It seems like I used to get up like at 3 or 4 in the morning, and then I would start doing like 4 or 5 or something. I don't know. It just seems like it's getting earlier and earlier. And so, um, you know, I don't know, but I was having Duran pop in my head. And oh yeah, because it was there was like a certain piece that I was having Duran on, because it was reminding me of 2020 when I was watching all those lives, because it was like even when I go on TikTok and I'll be looking at videos and stuff and seeing all this bullshit, and then I was like, man, I want to see Duran, see what's going on. And it was like I felt like I was pulling into reality through this person who was live, who was showing things that were happening right then. And then and then I just think his personality is funny. He's always looking for malarkey. Okay, right now we're looking for a Silverado. It was stolen. It's funny. He's a character. But he had just crashed. When I just saw him this morning, he had just crashed. And so he was just sitting in his board, I think it's got a 3-wheel or something. Is it big wheel? A wheel? I don't know. But it was laying out there. It was this big giant fucking wheel. And then it has like a little balancing thing on each side. And he's a big guy. He's not like a little skinny guy. And he's funny because he's always going to get donuts and going to get churros. And then people recognize him. He's always like, yeah, that just happened. He's so excited. Yesterday he had this big thing that went on about some student. He was at the college and he was sure there had to be somebody on there who watches him. And then there was, and then he wanted to be able to go into their class with them. I was like, a whole thing, I don't know, because I don't listen to his stuff all day long. I just catch these little bits when I see him pop up. And so he getting this whole thing set up so he can go to class with this girl and I think take notes because he loves school and he wants to go back to school. And he'll bring donuts and coffee and stuff. And I don't know if when he goes around on his board, if he goes to certain places and they give him food because it's like a commercial for him. Because, you know, he does have a lot of people around there who watch him. And he is such a character, but he had crashed. And so he's just sitting there and he was like having a hard time. He's like, well, it's not as bad a crash as yesterday. So yesterday he had crashed too. Because when I was catching him yesterday, he was having a hard time. He was really out of it. And then he said, and I just hit through the same road rash. So it's really great. And so, you know, he does fall and have accidents and stuff while he's out doing that. But I think the thing that is cool about him is just so authentic. He's just so real. He's just so regular. Like, however he feels, he just shows it. He just says it, you know, you know, he could be hiding parts of himself. I don't know. Yesterday, he's like, man, I got to get a real job. I'm thinking, man, so many people wish they had your job. Just go around talking to your friends on a fucking. It seems like he's carrying one camera, so I don't know how it is that he can talk to people, show the thing, and have the police scanner all going on this one thing. But when he goes on the wheel thing and he's moving, this thing he moves different. And so that's another thing, like, how does he see? Because I've seen him do it in the shadow. And so maybe sometimes he's reading it, and then sometimes when he's going, he's just doing that because you can see in the shadow. But it's cool. The movement is really cool. I had seen another guy who had done these videos, and I haven't seen one of his in a long time. There's just 2 other ones because there's the guy who goes around and does people's yards. in way overgrown yards. And so he does them, and it'll take him all day, but he'll speed up the tape. So everything's going real fast, and it's really, really cool. I like his. And then this other guy, he was also taking his camera, and he was going down real low. Like he was going around with this camera, taking you on this weird adventure of seeing with this camera. It was really cool. I really liked his too, but I haven't seen his in a long while. But anyways, it's like, Deron, so many people would love to have your job. That's where everybody wants to switch to. But there's definitely a malarkey happening in LA. Like, I think there's going to be a lot more. Even with him falling and stuff, I just felt like the energy. I feel like there's something with the energy. Like even to me, like dropping things and stuff. Even when I made my tea, it keeps tasting like coffee. It's very strange. And it's like, it's not even, well, I guess it's tea. Matcha is tea. And it's got tons of leaves. So I don't know, I'll just call it tea, even though it's not black tea. It's a bunch of different roots and herbs and shit. And but it tastes so weird. It tastes like coffee. I just feel like everything's super like, I don't know, like out of sync. Like everything is just like out of sync. Like we're so much about to do this flip. And I think, Trump and the money and stuff is going to be a big push into it. And I just don't know, man. I don't know what the thing is. It seems like something's going to happen that is going to take out a bunch of people. It seems like it'd be explosions or something. But maybe it'll be something with this sky. I don't know. But something's going to happen. And something's going to take out a bunch of people. And then if that lady's right, then we're going to go into darkness. And then when it comes on, it's going to be like everything is going to start changing. Everything is going to start being better. And it's going to be, we'll start rebuilding and making, which for some reason I'm really drawn to Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And it's weird because Jackson came. And I had kept noticing, I keep moving this statue around. And this is a statue I got at my dad's when he died. I only got a few things. But this statue, because my stepmom was like giving me a bunch of different things. Like I got my grandma's bowl for the bread and stuff. Like this really cool bowl. It's probably like 100 years old. And this statue thing. And I had said something to my mom about it. And she goes, oh, that was... this really cool ass statue that we got when we were on that trip to go to Yellowstone, and we went to Jackson Hole on this big trip that we did. My dad got an RV and we drove. We went to Yellowstone, then we went to Jackson Hole, which I loved. I loved Wyoming, and then we went to California, and then he left us there, and then he went home to his girlfriend. And we stayed there and went to Disneyland and stuff, which Disneyland is closed down now, in case you didn't know, all Disneyland's closed. And it's big talk, tons of people talking about that. But the reasons why, and, there's a lot of reasons, I'm sure, because all the corruption's going down. It's all going down. And I don't even know, like, there's some creepy ass shit that is coming out about that place. Like, fuck. I think they were just, oh, man, it's creepy, man. So anyways, when Jackson came, right? And then, and I'm definitely, my person, so I don't know what else to call him, but my person, this is the person they've been showing me for fucking 6 years now, is, my match, is, it's just weird. This is like, they showed me. And it's like, to me, I thought, well, then that person would know too. But it doesn't go like that. It doesn't go like that at all. And so, anyways, but that's your stuff that you have to work on. But this is a totally trippy thing. But anyways, so these names keep coming into my thing. But the Jackson one now, I just kept thinking, okay, so are you pulling me to go towards there to look for a place? Because I had seen something recently where it was a little town in Wyoming where it was like, just exactly what I'm talking about. Like these cool ass towns are going to start popping up all over the place. And then I was thinking about Jackson Hole and how much I loved it. And I was thinking, I wonder what it's like now. And so I'd been thinking that months ago. But, I'm always logging in what I love. And then the statue, I started moving it around. It was constantly like, oh, maybe I want it there. Maybe, oh, it's right. Let's see, I'll show you because it's right. See, there's the water thing. It's right there. That's the statue right there. It's these two horses and they're running. And it's older now, like it's got some weak parts and stuff, but it reminds me of when I was a kid. And I always thought it was cool. And so I got it. My mom said that got it on that trip. And so I keep moving around. So then yesterday I was like, Jackson Hole, where am I going to go? And I just, as all these things start going. So then I started following the signs. And so now I'm like, man, I think for sure by spring, fuck. It's just so hard to even think about this. It's like winter's just getting started. I'm so glad it's already November though. It's like, fuck, we got like a January, December, and probably February and January, I say November, December, January, and February probably. So for sure, like probably another fucking solid 5 months. And then, and it is already snowing all over there, like Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, so I'm sure Wyoming and shit, it's all snowy. And so it's when it stops over there too, is when I can start traveling and driving, if that's what we're still doing at that point, and go over there. But I do think I want to go over and see Jackson Hole, because maybe that would be the perfect place to get like a little ranch, even though it's kind of far from my kids, but travel is going to be a lot different. We'll be able to travel and get places way faster. And so it's not going to be like we have to be just because, my kids want to live in one place and that's where their life is. It doesn't mean like I want to live in the same place and that's where my life is. And, one of the things too, when I moved from Spokane, there was a lot of different things, there was a lot of pieces that went together. Because I had been being babysitter. And I realized like, this is not what I want. And then even when my kids come, they don't have time to talk to me. They just gotta hurry up and get their kids to go about their thing. I was like, this is really shitty. This is not what I want for my life. And I knew I had to make changes and stuff, and I was looking for a house like this. But this is over years. This isn't like quick. And but I was directing the energy. I already knew, well, I don't want that. I don't want to just sit and be a babysitter and never even get to see my kids. Nobody spends time with me or anything. I was like, I need something different for my life. And so, and then my one daughter was wanting me to move over here and stuff. So then when I got over here, and then when she left, I was over here by myself, but I've seen such benefit to being on your own. And, and I don't want to just sit and be like, okay, you guys go live your life, leave your kids with me, have a good time. No, I already raised my kids. They want to have kids, and that is their opportunity to raise them. I didn't have anybody to dump my kids off on. And so, and then I don't mean it like that, like, well, I didn't, so you can do it too. But it's like, no, this is my time. This is my life. And I'm not going to raise your kids now. And, and I know that's not what they're trying to do, but I know, like, when you're a young mom and stuff, you want your mom around, you would like a little help, you would like somebody and stuff. But anyways, I'm not going to, I want to have a place over there, so I have a place to stay when I go there. Because I am so over going to people's houses and staying. I'm so over it. It's like, fuck, I'm so fucking, there's not any place that I've gone that has been, no, it's like, no, I want my own place. Even if it's a fucking mobile home, I'll go to my mobile home when I come and visit you, and I'll stay over there, and you guys can come over and visit me in my mobile home, and I won't go over. And, just like there's got to be some changes, you know what I mean? But that's not going to become my dedicated life. And I've told them over and over, even if I'm there, I'm not going to be there year round. That's not my plan. And even with this girl who's coming here, I've told her I'm not going to be here all the time. It's not my plan. I have my own things. And so people have to learn how to be independent and to rely on themselves and figure out what they need. It's so funny, too, is that one daughter, is always teaching me, she's always she brings up my boundaries, that I have to put boundaries up. But it's so funny is because she'll be talking about stuff in her life and she doesn't realize that, you're telling me that I don't have boundaries, but, you're telling me you don't have any by the complaints you have about the things going on. And it's funny because how people can see like your stuff, but they can't see their own. They can't see, like, I'm going around telling other people, like, you need boundaries, you need this, you need to do that, but they're not doing it for themselves. That's why the universe is going to accommodate them so thoroughly and make sure that you understand what your problems are, because you're focused on everybody else's problems and trying to fix everybody else's stuff. So, and I just saw the one girl too, the girl who is the yoga girl who was spiritual. I used to think she was spiritual. Now I don't. Because people are just showing their attitudes. People are showing what they really think. Yeah, you can run around wearing all your crystals and put on your rainbow shirts. You can put on your fucking, wear all your charms, your bracelets, all your shit and claim to be something. But your attitude shows it all. So I keep saying this spiritual shit that they're trying to say it's superficial. It's shallow. It's not real. Most of them can't even keep up that, because you have to do your healing. You have to live your life in a different way. It's a different lifestyle, different perspective, just like this. I recognize, well, no, it's not exactly what I was hoping for, but it's what the universe has said. This is what you're going to do. And if I say no to the universe, then there's always an action back. I always say, yes, let's see. What am I supposed to learn now? Because you can't get to the next thing if you don't learn the things that they're trying to teach you. You can't skip the lessons. Well, I don't want that one. No, you have to see, okay, lesson incoming. So now what am I going to be working on? And you got to go with the flow. So I keep trying to talk about going with the flow. The people that come to you, they come to you for a reason. When you are going out and trying to get something, that's you doing something. You're taking an action. The universe will bring you your real stuff. So that's where I think you got to kind of start differentiating, start seeing for yourself. Am I going out trying to make things happen? Am I trying to force things? Or am I sitting back, waiting and allowing things to come to me, to see what comes to me? And then to think about it on that other level of, what am I learning here? What am I supposed to be doing? What am I advancing? How am I growing through this? So it's you focusing on you, not like the other person and their irritation and what they're doing and stuff like that. So anyways, and I don't know, she could come out here and want to talk. She could want to participate. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be like. But I'm going to keep doing my thing and keep coming out here and, talking and stuff. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Like, when I know it's weird because I feel like there's so much times I'm just saying the same thing over and over and over. And then, you guys could totally be getting it, and I'm totally basing it on the shit I see on TikTok. But, I'm saying the same things over and over. But the thing is I know that when the things switch, when things turn the other direction, that is going to be so much more to talk about, so much more to talk about. Just even on my own thing, to see like what they've shown me and what they've told me. And if it plays out, how it plays out, when it plays, like whatever, however. So there's so much. And then, so it is kind of like the conversations are even kind of like, they're spinning their wheels. Like, we're ready for change. We're ready for movement. But I think the movement is going to be, pretty scary once it starts moving. But it's going to be temporary. Whatever happens is going to be temporary. And then we'll get through it. And then we'll be whatever. I don't know. I just know there's a lot of things coming. There's a lot of things coming. And I don't know how they all fit together. I just know that, this is all, everything's fine. Like, we don't have to sit here, because I see people now like realizing like we're in this cataclysm and the earth is about to change and stuff. So now they're freaking out about that. But to me, I think that's what they're getting us ready for. That's why they're waking people up, is getting us ready for this big change, this big cataclysm. And I 100% that they believe that we're going to be put into safe places. And I do think Wyoming is one of the places. You just got to go and look at the maps and see. And, and I don't know. I mean, right here, especially if Edgar Casey drew that map a long while ago, then, maybe my place will still be here. It's right on the mountain thing. But if it's going to go way up the mountain, then my place will be way underwater. Just got to see. Everything is just, you just can't get too attached to anything. We're in a time of change. We're in a time of flux, movement. And here comes movement right here, little Mr. Man. Probably we need to go back out and go potty. It's been an hour and 45 minutes. So, okay, so let me think. I'm going to get this one going on the download, and then I'll come back and do it in the morning. The money thing, oh yeah, because that was the thing, is like, because my money won't go in, and I feel like I need a bunch of stuff, and I'm not going to stress it, especially now I'm going to have another person here. It's like, I can't stress it. I can't sit here and go like, well, fuck. If I'm not going to have any access to get to any money, any food now for the next couple weeks, it's like, okay, just got to go with the flow, go with the flow. Be eating a lot of beans, it'll be fine. And I could go up to the food bank, but fuck, I went there the other day to get some meat for Stella, and it was weak, man. It was weak. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go out there and compete with people who really don't have food, and that there's just not that much. I was like, oh God, so I don't want to go up and take stuff when, it's one thing when there's a shit ton, but now it's just like there's not very much stuff. And I'm not paying my stuff. I've got money to go buy food. Other people who are paying their bills and need that food to survive, I'm not gonna go take it from them. But it was some weak ass shit, man. To me, it's just like, it's so much more about getting in your mind of not feeling like, well, I have to have this. Well, I need that. Well, what will I do without this? It's like you got to keep getting down to that, like, fuck. I mean, there's fucking people surviving off eating goddamn garbage and charging people to eat their garbage. They cook it. They put effort into the garbage. Like, ugh. So I've seen so many more gross things too. Like, I don't know. It's just such a thing in America. We just, oh God, don't want to be dirty. Don't want to have this. Don't want to have that. It's like, we got to get back to our human side. So to me, like, I don't need a lot. I don't need it to be fancy. Yeah, I have cravings. Yeah, there's especially cravings for sugar. But I was like, okay, just what's going to run out is going to run out. What we're not going to have is what we're not going to have. And it's going to be the lessons, but it's all going to be temporary. So whatever's going to happen, and we're in it. Like, it's happening. It's already in movement. There's no more getting prepared for it. So anyways, we'll see tomorrow. When I record tomorrow, I probably won't know about my daughter's check. We'll see, but there sure is but to me it makes total sense because they started a separate account. They started a separate system, and so the money's going into that system and the bank's off that system. It's a new system, so the money's going into that system and the banks are being left out. And then the banks are sitting there saying, well, I don't know what's going on, we're trying. And then the people believe the banks. But that's why we gotta go through all this fucking shit. So they wake up and see, because they're still motherfuckers. Like, well, my bank won't let me get my money. I'm telling you guys, get out there and get your money out of the banks. So anyways, chaos incoming. So we're going to have, it's just the way it's got to play out. It's got to play out. A bunch of chaos. A lot of people got to wake up and see. So anyways, we'll see. Anybody who, if your checks are going in and everything's flowing good in your account, put it in the comments and tell us what bank. But it seems like that, be prepared because they're all going to go down. It's not going to be just like, oh, well, I was lucky, I got a good one. No, if you got a good one and you'll be stuck on their bank system, is the news bank system is going to be separate from that banking system. So, but everybody's should start going down. But if you do still have access to money, get yourself ready. Because I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be that we have to make it till the end of the month, or if, we'll just got to see. We just got to see. and be prepared. And then whatever happens, just keep yourself sane. Don't get yourself all bent out of shape. Oh, which, by the way, I'm going to go fucking cold turkey on the weed while having her here too, because I can't sit here and just smoke while she's in crisis. So I'm just got to be like, okay, I needed to take some time and clear out my lungs anyways. And so anyways, I'm sure we'll see. We'll see how that goes too. There's lots of things where it's like, it reminds me of this movie when I was a kid, and something was going on. It was like, well, this was a bad time to stop doing heroin. So my brothers and sisters and I would always do that. There was problems. Well, this wasn't the week to try and stop doing heroin, I guess. And so I always think of that. And so we'll see. It's gonna be a lot of shit going on. And it's gonna be like, is this really the time to stop smoking? We'll see. But it's right. It's like, fuck, I can't just sit here and smoke. And she's like, she needs to get her shit together. And so, anyways. So, have a good day. Stay on top of shit. And I'm really happy for you, Vortex. Like, it's so nice when you see your healing making a difference, actually changing things. When you see, like, oh, I would have used to do this, and look at bug. And then you see, like, when you make the change and you see how it comes out, it's like, fuck, I'm making changes in my life. I'm living better. I'm doing better. I fucking have control over this. I have control over my relationships. It's a fucking beautiful thing to see. It's a beautiful thing when you realize. So it's really exciting. I'm really excited for you. And that's why I keep trying to tell everybody. It just gets easier and easier and easier. And you just will start seeing the benefits. It really is important. And I really know that that's why all this stuff is happening. It's all happening so people start getting in tune to themselves, going inside and questioning themselves, questioning reality and working on themselves, expanding who they thought they were into becoming who they want to become. And so it's just a whole evolution, a whole development happening. And I think it's very exciting. It's tedious. It's like, God damn. I just didn't know where people were starting from. No wonder my life was the way it was before. It's like, fuck, man. So anyways, I'll be heading out in a while and head into town and see what that crazy thing is. I got to drive a lot. I got to drive through downtown and everything. So we'll see what that craziness is like. But I guess I'll see what's going on in Bellingham when I go do that. So I just think it's chaos everywhere. So just be safe and just know whatever goes on is supposed to go on. You are where you're supposed to be. And everything is temporary. Everything is in movement. And we're in a very hard, treacherous time of this change, of this evolution. So whatever you're going through, acknowledge it and don't get down on yourself. Don't start hating yourself and thinking that you have no worth. That's coming from inside. Your worth is, you're very valuable to the universe. You have lost track of your own worth. And so you have to, find that value of yourself again. Remember how to love yourself and to value and see how you're important, how important you are to the whole universe. Your importance to, it needs to be the same importance to you. To know, like a general of the military doesn't go around, not knowing he's a general. Like, you need to remember you're a general. You're a warrior. You're not this little weak, whiny crybaby who thinks everything is happening to them and God hates them. Like, those are all things you got to change from inside. So anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye.